1. Textbook answer. Ch1 Growing plants value of chapter, save trees, save earth. Let's exercise. 1. Fill in the blanks. 1. Plants such as ferns and mosses reproduce through spores. 2. Pollination is the transfer of pollens from the anther of one flower to the stigma of the same or another flower. 3. Dandelion seeds have fine, long hair around them that help in dispersal of these seeds. Q2. Match the following. Column A answers. A. Grow from stem ginger. B. Grow from root radish. C. Dispersal by explosion. Lady finger. D. Water dispersal coconut. Q3. State whether the following statements are true or false. 1. Mustard is a fiber crop. False. 2. Bean seeds are usually dispersed by explosion. True. 3. All plants require only air for germinating. False. 4. Monocot plants have one cotyledon in their seeds. True. 5. Rice is a rabi crop. False. 2. Q4. Answer the following questions in 3 to 4 sentences. 1. Define germination and state the conditions required for it. Tons. The process by which seed produces a baby plant or seedling is called as germination. Air, water and proper temperature or warmth are the conditions required for germination. 2. What is pollination? Give examples of different pollinating agents. Tons. The transfer of pollens from the anther of one flower to the stigma of the same or another flower is called as pollination. Wind, insects, birds or other animals are the pollinating agents. 3. Why are crops sprayed with pesticide? Tons. Farmers cannot afford to lose their crops due to insects, so to control this some farmers spray pesticide on them which kills the insects. Pesticide can also prevent disease from spreading, so using pesticide lowers the risks of losing one's crop of the season. 4. Explain the different methods of vegetative reproduction. Tons. Vegetative reproduction is of following methods. 1. Through roots, money plant and dahlia develops many roots which then develops into shoots, when kept in water. 2. Through stems, many plants develop roots through their stems which then grow into new plants. Ginger and potato are underground stems which can be used to grow plants. 3. Through leaves, some plants can grow new plant from their leaves. Bryophyllum leaves have tiny buds which can grow into a new plant under right conditions. Book question answer 1. Growing plants. 1. Fill in the blanks. 1. Are small leaf-like structures present at the base of a flower? Tons, sepals. 2. Ginger and potato are underground which can be used to grow plants. Tons, stems. 3. The process of fusion of pollens in the ovary is called fertilization. Tons, ovules. 4. Is the process by which seeds are scattered away from the mother plant. Tons, explosion. 2. Match the following. Plants vegetative reproduction method. 1. Dahlia I through stems. 1. Potato E through leaves. 2. Bryophyllum E through spores. 3. Ferns ivy through roots. Uns, A ivy B I C E D E. 3. Give 3 examples of following. 1. Kharif crops. Uns, jawar, bajra, peanuts, jute and cotton. Page 2 of 4. 2. Rabi crop. Page 3 of 4. Uns, peas, gram, and mustard. 3. Oil producing plants. Uns, mustard, sunflower and soybean. 4. Answer in one sentence. 1. Give functions of the following. 1. Petals. The main function of petals is to attract insects and birds. 2. Sepals. The main function of sepals is to protect the flower in the budding stage. 2. What is pollination? The process of transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same or another flower is called pollination. 3. Name the parts of a pistil. A pistil consists of 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. 5. Give reasons. 1. Seeds should not be sown too close to each other. If seeds are sown too close to each other, they will not be able to grow because seeds need proper space to germinate. 2. Crops are sprayed with pesticide. Crops are sprayed with pesticide to protect them from the different types of pests. Page 4 of 4. 6. Observe the picture and label the diagram. 7. Samira wanted to plant a potato with small buds in a pot. After some days, she noticed that the plant was growing but she could not see any potatoes on the plant. Why could Samira not see any potatoes on the plant? Potatoes are modified stems that grow under the soil and not on the plant. Due to this, Samira could not see potatoes on the plant. 8. Solve the puzzle. Across 3. Example of seeds that are dispersed by explosion. 4. Example of seeds that are dispersed by the wind. 6. Seeds having one seed leaf. Down 1. Example of seeds that are dispersed by animals. 2. Seed having 2 seed leaves. 5. Example of seeds that are dispersed by water. Seed coat. Cotyledon. Embryo. Page 5 of 4. 9. Higher order thinking questions. HOTS. It has been observed that there is a sharp decrease in the population of butterflies and honeybees in recent years. Butterflies and honeybees are important for plants. What will happen if their number continues to drop? Suggest ways to improve the number of butterflies and honeybees in your area. If the number of butterflies and honeybees continues to drop, it will be difficult for the plants to pollinate. Some plants may not give rise to new plants due to this. We can plant flowering plants or trees in our area and take care of them. This will attract butterflies and honeybees and help increase their number. CH1 Growing plants. Value of chapter: to gift greener planet to coming generations. Reproduction in plants. Reproduction through seeds. Many plants grow and produce their species from seeds. These seeds are present in the flower of a plant. The flower is the reproductive organ of a flowering plant and has 4 parts: sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. Parts of flower. Sepals: they are the small, leaf-like structures at the base of the flower. The main function of sepals is to protect the flower in the budding stage. Petals: they are the brightly colored parts of the plant. The main function of petals is to attract insects and birds. Stamen: it is the male reproductive organ of the flower. Each stamen consists of a stalk or a filament and a sac-like tip called the anther. The filament holds the anther up while anther contains pollen grains, which are the small spore-like structures required for reproduction. Pistil: it is the female reproductive organ of the flower. A pistil is made of 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is the sticky tip of the pistil which functions to receive the pollen grains. It continues as a long tube called as the style and functions as a connection between stigma and ovary. The style ends in a bulb-like structure called ovary, which contains the female egg cells called ovules. Pollination: the process of transfer of pollens from the anther to the stigma of the same or another flower is called pollination. The pollens travel down a pollen tube and enter the ovary where they fuse with the ovules. This process of fusion of pollens and ovules in the ovary is called fertilization. After the ovules are fertilized, they develop into a seed while the ovary develops into a fruit containing the seeds. Thus, after pollination, seeds are formed due to fertilization. Pollens can be transferred to the stigma of the same flower or a different one. When the pollens are transferred to the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination, and when they are transferred to the stigma of a different flower, it is called cross-pollination. Pollination may occur because of wind, insects, birds, or other animals. These are called pollinating agents or pollinators. Structure of a seed. A seed has three main parts, namely, 1. Seed coat, 2. Seed leaves or cotyledons, and 3. Baby plant or embryo. The seed has a thin skin-like covering. This is called the seed coat. It protects the seed along with the embryo inside. It has a tiny pore which allows water and air to enter. The seed coat can be thin and soft as in beans or thick and hard as in coconut seeds. Cotyledon. On removing the seed coat, you will be able to see two seed leaves or cotyledons which store food for the embryo. The food stored is used by the baby plant till it grows the first green leaves. The embryo is located between the two seed leaves. Seeds such as maize, rice, and wheat that have only one seed leaf are called monocot seeds, and seeds with two seed leaves, such as gram, bean, and pea, are called dicot seeds. Germination. The process by which a seed produces a baby plant or a seedling in the presence of air, water, and warmth. A seed cannot germinate if it does not get right conditions of air, moisture, and warmth. If any one condition is not right, the seed will not grow into a healthy plant. Seeds also need proper space to germinate. If seeds are sown too close to each other, they will not be able to grow. Seed dispersal. Seed dispersal is a process by which seeds are scattered away from the mother plant. There are various ways in which the seeds get dispersed. By wind. Seeds that are light in weight, hairy or winged are dispersed by the wind which carries them away from the parent plant. Seeds of cotton, dandelion, drumstick, and maple are dispersed by wind. By water. Seeds of plants that grow in or near the water bodies are dispersed by water. These seeds are usually hollow, which allows them to float on water. Seeds of water lily, coconut, and lotus fruit are dispersed by water. By animals. Human beings and animals eat fruits and throw away the seeds, or it comes out of their digestive system through excreta. These seeds reach the ground and germinate when conditions are favorable. Some plants such as burdock and sea holly have a hook-like structure on their seeds. These get attached to the skin of animals and dispersed in distant places. By explosion. Some plants disperse their seeds by exploding on ripening. The seeds are carried several feet away from the parent plant. Plants like peas, cotton, and beans have pods that explode when they ripen. Vegetative reproduction. In this type of reproduction, plants reproduce through their parts such as stems, leaves, and roots. Vegetative reproduction is of the following types. Through roots, money plant and dahlia develop many roots which then develop into shoots, when kept in water. Through stems, many plants develop roots through their stems, which then grow into new plants. For example, ginger and potato are underground stems which can be used to grow plants. Potatoes have small buds on their body. A new potato plant can be grown from a part of the potato with a bud on it. Through leaves, some plants can grow new plants from their leaves. Bryophyllum leaves have tiny buds that grow on each leaf. These tiny buds can grow into a completely new plant under right conditions. Through spores, mosses and ferns reproduce with the help of spores, because they do not have flowers and therefore no seeds. Ferns have leaves with pores on the underside that help the plant to breathe. They also have pods called sori that contain spores which germinate and develop into new plants. Agriculture, it is the science of growing plants on a large scale for food and biological raw material. Plants that are grown through the agricultural processes are called crops. Based on their uses, crops are of the following types. 1. Food crops, namely, wheat, rice, potato and sugarcane. 2. Fiber crops, namely, cotton, jute and hemp. 3. Oil-producing crops, namely, mustard, sunflower and soybean. Different crops are grown in different seasons. On the basis of seasons, crops are grouped as Kharif crops and Rabi crops. Kharif crops, they are grown in the rainy season from June to September. Rabi crops, they are grown in the winter season, i.e. from November to January. Examples: rice, maize, jowar, bajra, pulses, peanuts, jute and cotton. Examples: wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. Agricultural process for farming any crop, the following steps are followed. 1. Farmers first prepare the soil by plowing. Plowing is the digging of soil with the help of plow drawn either by animals or by tractors, and it helps to loosen the soil. 2. Seeds are then sown and manure and fertilizer are added. The field is irrigated with water and sprayed with pesticide to protect the crops from pests. 3. Fully grown crops are then harvested, threshed, separating the grain from the crop, and finally stored for transport to various places.